Go, or here we should go. Yeah, I should be on. Am I on? Full with sound. Good. Evening, guys. Here I am, back again. Hopefully, this will go better than last week. If the internet does drop out tonight, I'm not going to bin it all together. I'll just rush into the house and reboot the modem so we can carry on. So what I'm doing tonight, I've got a piece of ash on the lathe. It's 7.5 inches long, 4 inches square, spindle. So I'm going to be doing a vase shape, and I'll be using the Proxxon long neck grinder on this. Now there's a couple of different blades you can get for this. You can get like an Arbitec type blade, which you can actually sharpen, or the one I've got on here. This is the Arbitec Pro that's on here, and it's got two carbide cutters on this one, and it looks like I'll have to take my glasses off. No, I thought they were cupped, but they're not. So I can actually sharpen these with a diamond sharpener. So that's the main one I'm going to be using tonight. I may well use a couple, or use one of the grinding type discs. These are produced by KA Tools. I think that's King Arthur Tools. And I can't remember if you can get these from, you can probably get them from Turner's Retreat, or you might be able to get them from Tool Post, or you might be able to get them from Wood Art. Any of those places, if you have a look for King Arthur Tools, it's a Nick Agar design. The green one is a fine cutter, and the red one is a coarse cutter. So they all fit onto the Proxxon. It comes with other things as well when you buy it, sanding disc and like a saw blade disc as well. I'll probably not use them tonight, but we'll get onto that once I get this turned down and into shape. Oh, thank you. Brill. Right then, guys, we'll get on, do some turning. Watch this. I'll tell you later, JP. It all depends on how it works out. So I have got, oh, cheers, JP. I have got different cameras on, so I've changed camera. When I'm doing the carbon with the Proxxon, if anybody wants to see an overhead shot, I can do that as well. My God, I'm moving up in the world. Right, here we go. I'm turning, it's between centers at the moment, and I'm turning at around about 1150. Just going to get a rough down. Move the tool rest in. Brian, the wood is ash. I'm just going. Right, I'm just going to get this end straightened off. And now I'll put the tenon on to the chuck. Just get my calipers to do the size of the tenon. And I'm just going to put a small groove on the tenon. Now the reason I put a small groove on, I've probably said this to you before, the chuck that I use, which is an Axminster chuck, I use the C-jaws on the Axminster chuck, and they're not dovetailed, they're actually parallel. And I've got no idea on that question, Leona. And I don't actually remember, like I was just saying the deal before we started, I bought this Proxxon a good few years ago, and it must be at least, yeah, it would be not the last Harrogate show, the one before that. So that would have been 2018 when I bought the King Arthur discs, and I really don't remember how much they were. Yeah, but have a look at the King Arthur ones as well. Now what? All right. No, JP. This is the Evolution chuck. But seeing as how it's an Axminster chuck, the jaws from the SK100 will fit on there. This one, oh, I'm the wrong camera. This one here, that's the SK100. So that's got the, it's like a Jacob's chuck key that you tighten this one with, whereas the Evolution has got the square chuck key. But the jaws, if it's an SK100, the jaws will fit onto the Evolution chuck. If it's an SK80, obviously they won't. Right, so I'm just going to use my spindle gouge to shape this. I'm not very sure whether to do a round over type vase shape or just like an open form type thing, just so I can show what the Proxxon will do. Yeah, the chuck I sent you. Yeah, that's the SK100, the one that I sent you, Steve. Yeah, that's right. Hi, Lenny. I forgot to say it. Hello to everybody. Hello to everybody. And thanks to everybody who wished me a happy birthday today. Much appreciated. What chuck have you got, Leona? Oh, cheers, Steve. Thanks for that. And I saw that. Thank you, Leona. Needless to say, I haven't had a drink yet. Right, I'm just going back to the rough and gouge just to get rid of a fair bit of this wood here. Right, I just wanted to get rid of the bulk of wood there. Now I'm just going to refine the shape a bit. Right, Leona, what I do, I hate changing jaws as well. So what I've actually done, I've just bought a load of extra jaw carriers. So all my jaws, all the chuck jaws are already on jaw carriers. That way I just need to unscrew the jaws off and screw new ones on. It's a bit expensive, but it works. Six chucks. You're better off, right? What I found is now it doesn't really matter which chuck you buy because they're all much of a muchness. But if you're going to buy extra chucks, buy the same model. That way you don't have any pains with having to buy extra jaws. Oh, Glyn's in. Glyn's got about 60,000 chucks. Excellent, Andy. All right. Okay, right. I'm just going to do some sanding now, so I'm just starting on 120. Plus, basically, that's the turning done for the outside anyway. $120. $180. Let's have a look at it. Yeah. Where the hell did I put my sandpaper? Oh, there it is. Right, now I'm probably going to sand this just up to 240 to start with, because I am going to be using the grinder, and it'll need some sanding after I use the grinder. Yeah, you find that with quite a few chucks. It seems to happen a hell of a lot over in America, that does, where they always happen to bloody find adapters and things. Yeah. Right, I'm just going to do, using the skew, I'm just going to be putting some marks on where I'm going to be doing the grinding. Right, now, yeah, mine's, all the chucks I've got a direct thread. They're all M33, the chucks I've got. I'm seeing all, I've only got 2. Right, so if I start using the grinder with this camera here, do you think you're going to be able to see what I'm doing? Or should I move it to the overhead one? I'll just show you the overhead shot and get this bloody mouse to work. Right, that's the overhead shot. So is that going to be better for what I'm doing? Fine. Which is the 114 again. That wasn't the record one, was it? Did they do a 114? No, the Evolution's 100 as well, I believe. Or it might be. I'm not sure, to tell you the truth. Is that an Axminster? Oh, the Axminster 114. I don't really know. Seeing as how that's a bigger size, I don't think that any of the other companies will do anything, because the standard size tends to be 100 mil. Right then, moving on. Right, now the thing with any sort of power tool that you're using on the lathe, it can be used with the lathe stationary, or it can be used with the lathe actually running. With the lathe running, I'm going to turn the speed down so it's running at around about 500, and I'm going to use the grinder in between the two lines when the lathe's running. You don't need a heavy touch on this. A very, very light touch does just to get the effect. Thank you, Tom. You can't really see that very well on the camera, but I have got some textured effect there. I'll do a bit more just at a different angle. And if anybody wants to do, not necessarily cheap texturing, but texturing without having to go to all the expense of buying a texturing tool and things like this, pop over to Steve Trudell's channel and have a look at his the video he did with a burnt out Dremel, or a Dremel that isn't working, or one of the, God, I forget what you call them. Anyway, he had a cutter in one of them. He did some texturing on a box lid, and it turned out absolutely brill. So pop over and see that, just to see what he was doing. I'm putting this on a different angle now. Night, Glenn. It can end up looking a bit rough on this, but it is texturing after all. And then what you can do, I'm not going to bother using the index and jig because it's going to be fairly freehand, but I do want to have the lathe locked in place. That's the Hound of the Baskervilles out for a runabout. Now, depending on what type of effect you want, you can have the tool at different angles. So you can go in so it gives a fairly thin cut. I'll just show that. So that it's not sure. You can see it there. So that's the fairly thin cut. And if you change the angle, I'll just turn this around to another point. If you change the, hi Clive, if you change the angle, rather than going in straight like that, if you bring it across like this, you're going to get a different effect. So you can see how that's got a wider cut. It doesn't have to be in straight lines. You can do different wavy lines if you like. Again, this all gives a different effect. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to go around putting different effects on there. Then we'll come back. I'm going to get it sanded down and we're going to colour it. Because it's January. It's January and you can colour things in January. Oh, Scott. Right, the blade, Scott. Where's my camera? Wrong camera, it's this one. God, who suggested having multiple cameras? Right, this, oh, that's a good shot of the blade. It's the Arbortech. This one's the Arbortech Industrial. That's what this one is, Scott. Again, the usual sites, Turner's Retreat, Tool Post, places like this, you might be able to pick them up. Or failing that, have a look on the Arbortech website and see if you can get it there. Because Arbortech actually do a fitting that goes onto a 4.5 inch, 5 inch angle grinder, which turns that into a long neck one. So obviously Arbortech will do the blades. I'll have to go back in the chat and have a look. Just excuse me a minute, I'm just going back in the chat. I'm going to get this pronunciation totally wrong. Evening El Shagol from Egypt. Now again, with this, if you notice it's got the guard on, and if you're unsure about how much pressure to actually put onto the wood before you put the blade in, if you put the guard on first, and I'll just show you this, put the guard on first and you're not cutting anything, and then you can just bring it up till you just start cutting, and there you are. Nice one, Mike. Right, these two parts here where I was using it with the lathe running, I'm not that happy with, so I'm going to take them out, and I'm just going to use the Sorby texturing tool in there. Turn the speed up. Yeah. Evan, did you have any luck with the AWGB? That's okay. Right, turning that back down to around about 500 again. Now, when you're using the Sorby texturing tool, I usually have the medium blade on this. It comes with a number of blades on this. And it usually comes with an angle finder, if you like, so you can actually have it set in one position, which I don't like. I like moving the tool about. But have it so you're working with the bevel side. Oh, get that on camera. So you're working on the bevel side of the cutter, unless you want some really pointy parts where you use the other side. And have it so you've got the tool just about on center, around about 500, and just introduce the blade. It probably does these days, David, but I bought this when it first came out in 19 Canteen. Thanks very much, Alshigal, and making your own lathe, brilliant. Oh, right, David. I don't, like I say, I don't remember how much mine was. Hi, Free Living, how are you? Right, I'm going to give this a quick sand with the drill, just on 240. If I take any of the texture out or that I just put on there, I'll put it back in. No, we might not bother with that one. Right, I'm going to give that a final sand at 400. Just like I said, I am going to be colouring this. Hi, Countrywood Girl. Did you get the Harrogate, Countrywood Girl? I was hoping to see you there, but didn't. Right. Well, in fact, before I do that, bye for now, Leona. Right, this, yeah, right. The question about the drill, about using the drill for sanding. Right, the ball sanders. That's a long neck one that I've got for doing inside the hollows. They're a fairly new concept, the bowl sanders. They haven't been out a hell of a long time. Okay, it's a good few years, but not a hell of a long time. So before the bowl sanders were out, people used to use the drills because the sanding discs were there, so people used to use the drills. I've always used a drill and the sanding discs, and I think it was Steve from SK Crafts was asking JP about using a drill. It's faster. Okay, it's a bit noisier, but it's faster. You don't have to sand so much. It's something that basically I'm used to for a lot of stuff with the inertia sander. That's the word I was looking for. A lot of stuff with the inertia sander, I just can't get away with. I can't get the speed right on the sander or anything. So I basically stick to the drill. I just find it a lot easier for what I'm doing, and it's quicker. Now I'm not parting off, I'm just taking that out of there so when I come to colour it, I don't knacker up the colour when I come to part it off. Right, I'm busy tomorrow, I've got something on tomorrow, so I'll probably be doing the crackle paint video. It'll be over Friday and Saturday. And what I'm actually thinking of doing, I watched JP's premiere the other night, which was excellent because it was all in one, start to finish. So it wasn't the usual cut down video. It was a good premiere. It gave people a chance to have a bloody good chat while the premiere was going on and ask questions as well. So that's the way that I'm going to be doing the crackle paint one. There will be obvious pauses in there where I've got to stop the video because of the paint drying and the crackle drying and things like this. But it won't need any editing. I hate editing. So me doing it this way, it's just going to be like me on live, except there's going to be a premiere and I'll be in the chat as well. Hope that answers your question, Woody. Cheers, Mick. You're all hot. Yeah, but Chuck Norris is the man. Right, that's acrylic sand and sealer. Spray on acrylic sand and sealer. Again, I find it quick. It dries quick. You can put it on, you can leave it a few seconds, you can wipe the excess off, and that's it done. Yeah. I'll be like Charles doing his scroll sawing. I've got Fanta. Excellent. Right, now I'm going to paint it black. And everybody's going, whoa. Very good. You can't type with his mouth full. Right, I really want to get into the textured bits on this. I'm not actually overly concerned about the bits that aren't textured because they're going to get sanded off. Right, so what I'll do, I'll just turn the lathe on very slow. Just to give that a couple of few minutes to get dried off a wee bit. And then we'll see what we're going to do next. Jen, it's not just 2020. This has been my humour since day one. Let me have a look. No, right. It's rather than being a paint, it's a lacquer. I think that's one difference. But if I don't have any ebonizing lacquer, I will just use black gloss spray paint, which I buy from over here in the UK, a well-known auto shop. I'm just trying to see if I've got any. Because I've got loads of other colours, but I don't have any black. But yeah, if you haven't got ebonizing lacquer, go to Halfords and buy some black gloss paint from there. And Dale's just told me you can get it in the Wilco's at the moment for about £3. Tell you what, I'll stick the heat gun onto that just for a little bit. Camera wobbled because I was changing plugs over. Yep, printer ink works. Oh, I wonder if the defence discount card works as well. Because I've got the defence discount card. Hi, Tracy. Okay. Just a wee bit more. Oh. Hi, shop dog. It's Mark, isn't it? Right, let's see what happens when I go to sand that. Right, I'm going to try and sand this. Stick the speed up. Around about 600. I'm going to start off at 180. You're very helpful, Steve. Right, the thing is with the inks, printer ink would be classed more as a stain than a paint, in which case you would be putting it onto bare wood. You wouldn't be sealing the wood anyway, because when you use stains, you put it onto bare wood. Oh, ET. That's getting there. Yeah, I got a message on Instagram of Evan about that the other day. He said that because he'd spoken to, what was the guy's name you were talking at WGB with? Paul Hannaby. Yeah, Evan had been speaking with Paul Hannaby. I think they swapped emails or messages. Right, I'm going to go from the 180, I'm going to go straight up to 400 now. It's ash, Tom. See if this gives it a... Right, so now I'm going to move on and use some intrinsic colours from Hampshire. And I'm using my airbrush to do this. I'm going to use the honey up to about halfway, sort of fading off, and then I'm going to use the ruby from the top down to about halfway, fading as well. Did you see the post I put on Facebook the other day? I can't remember where I got it from, but I shared it. A wise doctor once said, or once wrote, and then had all the squiggles underneath. Harold. Evening, Harold. How are you? There we go. That doesn't take very long to dry at all, to tell you the truth. All right. Mind you, that's probably because the lens is all dusty on the other one. Let's turn that down again. I'll have you know, Dave the Wood Barber, this is a very high form this is, of claspoglyphics. Not many people know how to write claspoglyphics. I'm just putting sand and sealer on again. My God. Oh. Very good, Richard. Yep, 66. Oh, very good. Right, so what I'm using now is, that's upside down, tomatoes anyway, chestnut melamine gloss lacquer. I'll just put one coat on initially because I want to get the inside of this turned. Evening, Dark Man. I must stop shouting, there's no need to shout. Please don't not turn it when he's coming out with the Chuck Norris things. Otherwise I'd be ending myself. We're just getting stuff put away. Right, even so. Night, Woody. Every Wednesday. I do lives every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Although there is one in February that'll get missed. 26th of February, I think it is. I'll not be doing a live that night. I'm doing a demo up in Edinburgh at Proxxon Wood Turning Club. You know, I didn't know they did Chuck Norris jokes in Christmas crackers. Hey, Nathan. I'll drill that out first, don't I? Bye, E.T. Oh, she's saying that to Woody. Thank you, Claire. Very well, thank you, Nathan. Aye, 5-second rule. Right, I'm turning at just under 500 there. Just going to get this hollowed out a wee bit. Might help if I knew how far I was going to go. Right, I'll turn the lathe off there because if I try and take the drill out with the lathe running, I get a hell of a lot of squeaking, which is a bit ear piercing. Come on, you came out of there. Hi, Leona. Mind you, in Dave's house, it probably wouldn't end up getting to the floor before the dog got it. Thanks, Clyde. Yeah, I've got 3 less than 1 second dogs. Yeah. Oh yeah, I've got it marked. It's okay, I've got the drill marked on how far I want to go. Cheers, Rick. I wouldn't go that far dark, but thanks for that. Tight fit, as the actor said to the bishop. Thanks, Claire. Bear with me a couple of seconds, guys. I think the belt was coming loose there. I'll do a bit of hollowing, I think. I'll see how it goes. I might end up catching on my tripod and everything, so. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Always wear Crocs. Don't wear anything else. I was down at Glenn's, when was it? Oh, a few weeks ago. Had a quick road trip down to Glen just before Christmas. Bloody freezing it was down there, and I had my Crocs on. Come up a bit, I think. We'll put the other camera on. Yeah. It's the Proxxon Club, Mark. I think I need a new cutter on this turn. Cheers, Steve. I don't know if this will fit in or not. Let's see how that's doing. I think that'll do. Oh, harsh words, Leona. Probably needed, but harsh anyway. Cool. To tell you the truth, I've got an endoscope here as well. I'm sure I've got one somewhere. I bought one from Lidl's. It's got a camera and everything on it. I don't know if it's a USB one or not. Right, what I'm going to do, I'm going to part this off, get the bottom sanded off. It's had the sanding sealer on and one coat of the lacquer. Once I've parted it off and shown you up close and everything, I'll get another coat of lacquer on, and I'll probably, at some point tomorrow, I don't know when because I'm out all day, at some point tomorrow I'll get photos done and stick it up on social media. So I'm just going to part it off just now. Still. Hi, turkey leg. Right, here we go. Hi, Phil. Excuse me. Yes, Rich, of course you can. This all just happens. Bear with me, guys, a minute. All right. I'm past that. Right, I'm going to be using my Jacob's chuck to do the sanding. Okay, just so for on the bottom. So I'll be putting a sanding disc in. Now the thing is, if I was to put this into the headstock and just leave it like that, chances are it's going to pop out. So it needs to be secure if you're working just with the drill chuck. So you need to have a drawbar. So if you are buying, I can't get this bit of thing out now. My thing's going to come out. If you are going to buy a chuck with a Morse taper on, try and get one where the end is threaded. So you can actually lock it in to the headstock. That way, very good, Phil. I don't think I'll get that far, to tell you the truth. Hi, Dead Rise. Emmett. Right, so we'll just get that quickly sanded off. Take that knob off the bottom. Right then, there you are, guys. I'll be changing the camera in a minute. In fact, I'll change the camera now. See if I can remember which one I want to be on. Yep, that one. Right, there we go. So there we have it, a bit of carving with the Proxxon long neck and using the Robert Storby texturing tool. The colour's not showing up that well on camera. I'm sure it'll show up better once I take some photographs tomorrow. But we've got the black ebonizing lacquer in the textured areas. We've got the honey intrinsic colour at the bottom going into the ruby at the top. So there you go. What do you think? And there we go, an hour and 20 minutes. Not bad, not bad. It's about my usual time. So, anything happening in the chat? 54, come on. That's grand. That's grand. Thanks very much, Dale. So, if I'd been a bit quicker with this, I was going to maybe do a bowl as well using the Proxxon. But no, I'm not going to do that, not at this time of night now. Thanks, Christine Michael. Cheers, Dave. Thanks, Cuz. Jen. Thanks, Leona. Yes, getting very slow in my old age. So that's it. Right. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I think at one point we had 66, 67 in. Remember to give us a thumbs up. Remember to like and share. Tell your mates that I'm on the tubes. Don't tell them how ugly I am, mind, otherwise they'll not come and watch. I've enjoyed the night. That went pretty well. It's nice when the tech works and the internet doesn't go out. And I will see you next week. I am going to be doing the crackle glaze effect. It'll either be on a vase or a box or a bowl. Not much else I can put it on, I don't think. Anyway, it'll be on one of the three. So I'll get that done Friday, Saturday. Hopefully get the video up on Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening. I'll get the no, I won't, because I want to do it as a premiere. So when can I do that? I might do it on Monday evening, because I don't think Chris and Nicola are doing live with the Fishers now, and Andy won't be on until about 9:15 on Monday. So I may well jump in about 8 o'clock and do the premiere about 8 o'clock, maybe 7:30, depending on how long it's going to be. So, and then I'll be obviously live again next Wednesday. So, enjoy the rest of the evening, guys. I'm going in to have my usual glass of red. Mind you, Jane got us a bottle of Bombay Sapphire the other day, so I might be having a G&T. Decisions. Right, guys, I'll see you soon. Thanks for coming in.